Well, you may start seeing this logo more often. It's part of a national campaign to make all of us more prepared to save lives. The Stop the Bleed initiative is meant to help you become a first responder in a bleeding emergency.
And News 4's Teresa Weekly found out what our local law enforcement is already doing to train for this type of emergency and the product that you may want to have in your home.
It's about helping bystanders take action to save lives.
The White House held this news conference in October last year to announce an initiative called Stop the Bleed. The instructions tell you to compress, put on a tourniquet, and compress again if someone is bleeding badly. Police prepare for situations that can lead to traumatic bleeding with training exercises. This was an active shooter drill at Frontier High School last week. However, if you're in an emergency, police aren't the first ones there. You are.
Those injuries may be so severe that you can bleed out and die before first responders can get there, and that's why we focus so much now on teaching it to the public and lay people as well.
Brian Walters is the medical director for Twin City Ambulance. The average response time for his agency is between 4 and 5 minutes. He knows that serious injuries can't wait that long.
In a major vessel injury, death could happen in as little as 3 minutes and sometimes as fast as 90 seconds.
That's why so many different agencies support the Stop the Bleed campaign. The Journal of Emergency Medical Services put out an article this month encouraging providers across the country to teach bleeding control to the public. You can see what the training looks like. Walters holds these sessions for first responders all the time.
And the goal is to put as much pressure deep inside the wound where the artery or the blood vessel is bleeding from.
There are times when applying pressure won't be enough.
Some bleeding just can't be controlled with just direct pressure if it's that severe of an injury, and so that's when we start to turn to other products like hemostatic agents and tourniquets.
Tourniquets work by cutting off blood flow. Walters thinks everyone should have one in case of an emergency. The other product you can add to your first aid kit is a hemostatic agent like Celox. The Celox distribution company for all of North America is based in Buffalo.
The biggest thing about Celox is that it helps in seconds when help is minutes away.
Navy SEALs have used Celox for years in combat. There is a chemical on the gauze that causes your blood to clot. Even major bleeds stop in a matter of seconds with a product like this. The injury doesn't have to be severe for it to work.
From something as simple as a nosebleed. Let's say somebody's on a blood thinner and they actually get these all the time. We're also in Buffalo. Moms that have children, somebody that is undergoing dialysis treatment.
Amherst Police Captain James McNamara advises school districts on how to prepare for emergencies.
What kind of equipment to purchase and have available to them, how to utilize that equipment in a time of crisis, how to account for their personnel, their students, and to mitigate the incident.
McNamara sees putting these products into Stop the Bleed kits in schools as the next step.
Well, I think if it saves one life, it's worthwhile. We can't predict where these incidents are going to happen, but we know that they are a reality in our world today.
We talked with representatives from the Buffalo School District and others in the area. They don't have these kits in schools yet. We do expect an announcement from FEMA in the coming months that would provide funding to put them in every school. In Buffalo, Teresa Weekly, News 4 at 6.
Come a long way, haven't they?
They really have, and of course we all know about tourniquets or have heard of them, right?
But Celox, this is what the U.S. military is using in the Middle East.
It makes sense on the battlefield, doesn't it? We're learning more about it, something we should have at home, it sounds like, if we can get our hands on it.